We had a good sumptuous Bengali cuisine, I believe so. Namaskar. So before we begin, let me ask you three simple questions. Question number one. How many of you have learned mathematics in your school? Raise your hands. I'm pretty sure everyone learned mathematics in our school, right? Silly question. Well, question number two. How many of you remember algebra? 4x plus 5 is equal to 2x plus 9. More of us, right? And how many of you are aware that this so-called concept of algebra is equally applicable still and forever will in our relationships? Raise your hands. I'm sure I'm the only one raising my hand right now. Well, a successful marriage is like a mathematical equation. A successful marriage is like a mathematical equation. It's a sum total of luck, intentions, and actions. We as Indians in particular strongly believe in luck. And sometimes when things don't work in our favor, we are like, we were not really lucky enough this time. That's what we think, right? So luck, precisely number one. But that's not the only thing that works in favor or against our relationships. Because the point number two, very important, is intentions. Intentions, how we want to be in a relationship. Intentions, how we want the other person to experience the relationship with us. And certainly the intention to make or break our marriage. But that's doable only with point number three of the equation, and that is our actions. Because your luck may be in your favor or little crazy. Well, you got the strong intentions to be there, but what's going to hold you in the game is purely your actions. And a relationship can never be a one-sided affair. It can only work when both sides, both parties, both people who come together to create a bond, to create a strong network of life. It's not a 3G or a 4G. But it's going to work only when both sides work together in unison. The problem is, what if a relationship is not based on equality? What if somebody is not even sure whether he or she is being loved or apparently being abused in a relationship? The challenge is we are even unaware of what exactly is happening with us until someone turns up, wakes up from our slumber, and helps us realize we are in a toxic relationship. That's what my book, Divorce, the Best Thing Ever Happened, is all about, ladies and gentlemen. Divorce is a dreaded thought for everyone tying the marital knot. Sadly, many couples still meet the so-called ugly fate of the relationship, that is a breakup. People feel that once you've had a heartbreak, life is over. But they fail to realize that heartbreak is just an emotion, it's just a feeling. Your heart is still surviving, it's still working. So there's no end to life until you want to put a full stop to it, isn't it? And why does it really happen? Because there is a lack of compatibility between the two partners. And how do we figure it out? So let me ask you, is there any checklist of an ideal partner in a marriage or a relationship according to you? Anybody would love to answer? Or is there a possibility that we can have a process, a system to figure out who's going to be our best companion? And I'm not talking about matchmaking as per astrology or numerology. I'm certified in both of them, well, one of them. But that's not what I'm talking about. Because I believe there is and always can be a process by which we can, yes, figure out who can be our ideal partner. Precisely what I feel, I strongly work with millennials, young people out there, to help them realize what makes sense and what doesn't. And why do I help them? Because I've been through shit myself. Thanks to my mentor Tony Robbins, life's mess, which I have been through myself, is finally a message for the world out there. Because I just want you to be happy, whether within a relationship or out of it. Why? Because you and I get life just once, and it's meant to be lived the best way ever and nothing less. So let me share with you something very exciting today. India has just 1% divorce rate. But it doesn't mean that 99% couples are happy. The challenge is they are even unaware if they are in a toxic marriage. So this award, which I have proudly presented myself here, I'm humbled to receive, thanks to you, Kyoto, and all the august audience out here hearing me out after the lunch with all the focus, attention and energy. This award is actually a dedication to each one of you. To everyone who's in a relationship, who had a heartbreak, maybe had some testing times in their life, and still is alive and kicking out here, entrusted to make something, nothing but the best for themselves. This book is a dedication to all those wounded souls who've still not got anybody to heal their wounds, to give them relief in their pain and help them realize that they can still put on a smile on their face and walk the path what we are here on this planet Earth for. Why I chose to turn my mess into a message is quite evident from a recent world life example, the famous and infamous case of Johnny Depp, which helps us understand that all those men out there who are silent but have been through something violent, yes, men do get abused as well. It's an irony that in our country, we just have majorly women-centric laws. With all due respect to the lovely females out here, that's a bitter truth. So I chose to start this revolution by challenging everyone out there not to feel something dreaded about the so-called ugly word divorce, but be proud about being one and feeling and believing that it can be the best thing ever happened. Who am I, by the way? Let me introduce you. I am a life coach, a relationship coach, certified under Tony Robbins from US, a certified NLP practitioner, numerologist, been a guest speaker on TV within India. I come from a finance background. I'm a chartered accountant, MBA finance as well. Lots more to share about myself, but that's not what we are here for. What we really are here for is to give you 3 key takeaways today, ladies and gentlemen. Number 1, get rid of irrelevant people and things in your life. Be it your work, your friend circle, your relatives, or maybe your personal space. If you think you are being abused, get rid of them. They're not meant to serve any purpose out there. They just want to be a parasite who's going to suck your love, time and energy. Give it to someone else who deserves it more than the one who's not meant for it. Number 2, how are you going to do it? Well, empower yourself first. Give yourself the self-love which is so critical, so crucial, so inevitable to be alive. So, once you finally found the ones who make sense, go ahead and embrace the ones who truly deserve you in their life. Let me read something, and this is something exciting, because we all are Bollywood fans, aren't we? We watch a lot of movies. The very first chapter, the very first line, Rahul, naam to suna hi hoga. While this iconic dialogue from late Yash Chopra's Bollywood movie Dil To Pagal Hai reminds us of the king of romance Shah Rukh Khan, this book actually reveals the story of someone named Rahul who was left unheard in his life. To hear more about Rahul, grab your book today, because it doesn't matter if you are single or engaged, married or confused, on the brink of divorce or parted ways already. The 8 powerful worksheets in this book is actually going to be like a virtual coach for you. Trust me, if you go through them, you don't even need to come to me for a coaching session. It's so impactful for a very simple reason. As I already said, I just want you to be happy. Thank you everyone for all your love and patience. Thank you to my mom. Her blessings are always there with me from heavens above. Thank you to my dad, who's like my father come friend. And the most inevitable, the pillar of my life. Because my friend once said, if you get a right partner, you feel complete. If you get the wrong one, you're finished. I'm glad I have the one who makes me feel complete. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. It was a great time.